Hey, this is Edwin Dearborn, another edition of Growth Driven. There are 5 basic mistakes made by people in small business that if they change, they actually become 5 major opportunities. Hey, Edwin Dearborn here, another edition of Growth Driven. I want to talk to you about 5 big mistakes, basic mistakes that small business people make. Whether you're a startup, real estate agent, you own a coffee shop, doesn't matter. If you've got less than 25 employees, this is what I find common in businesses. And I find this even in larger companies with a couple of hundred employees. These 5 basic mistakes, when changed, really become the pivots that turn into opportunities. And the reason why these 5 mistakes become opportunities is because I know that 99% of your competition also is making these 5 mistakes. So if you turn your mistakes or lost opportunities into your strengths, you have that competitive advantage right away. And I want to share with you, I want to share a document here. I wrote these down so that you could see them as I go along. And if you're, listening to this on a podcast, then obviously you're just going to have to follow my words, but it will be in the video and in the podcast later on when it's uploaded. So here are the 5 small business mistakes, which are massive opportunities. This is based on observation. This is based on coaching and working with small business people for the last 10 years, specifically in the digital space. But if you go back even before that, when I was working at an advertising agency in the mid 80s in Orange County, California, we would see these mistakes quite common. So number 1, they have no marketing or sales strategy. Now, you've heard me talk about strategy before. Why is it so important? Because a strategy clearly lays out for you. It articulates and puts it in writing. This is who we are. This is the audience we want to serve. These are the goals that we want to achieve. We're going to list out all the resources we have in terms of money, platforms, technologies, people, joint venture opportunities. We're just going to list all these out. And then we're going to come up with bright ideas of how to use those resources to get to the goals that we want to have. And every time I do this with a small business person, it's no longer a bunch of jumbled ideas in their head. It is a clearly articulated list of everything they have and what they need to do to leverage what they have to get where they want to go. That's really what a strategy is. For any small business or entrepreneur, that written strategy is probably a couple pages. It's not some long, complex, overly complicated plan that you have to submit to the bank to get a loan. This is just for you to clearly identify and articulate, get rid of the confusions, get rid of the lack of clarity, and you clearly put down who you are, who you serve, what you have, and how you're going to get to where you want to go, your goals. Those goals could be a year from now, 3 years from now, 10 years from now. It's all up to you. But having that clear plan allows you now to have something to coordinate around. And that plan is not written in stone. You can change it. I change my plans all the time, but at least I have a starting point from change. I have at least a clarity of idea of where to go. I review that plan every day, and it allows me to keep myself in check. There's accountability in a plan. Are we doing our plan? Is the plan correct? What are the barriers to the plan? Do we need to change the plan? Is someone not understanding the plan? This is how you literally get everybody on the same page. You have to put the page there to get them on. Number 2, there's no use of lists of past clients and leads. I can't tell you how many times I go into a business and I go, do you have a CRM? And if they have one, this is if they have one, they don't use it. It's confusing. It's highly technical. They never really, they don't even know what the word CRM stands for, client or customer relationship management. They don't even, they don't even have the lists. I've had people literally with names and numbers and emails scattered in multiple places. And then we gather it in one place and then we start to actually engage the list. Guess what happens? We get business. To the oldest datums in marketing and sales. Number one, the money is in the list, but you can't get money from the list if you haven't compiled a list, if you're not engaging the list, which brings me up to point number 3 here. The fortunes in the follow-up. Very rarely do people follow up with the leads or their database of past clients. They don't send out emails. They don't post on social media with any frequency or any creativity to their followers. So they've got weak content, no content, weak follow-up, no follow-up. And guess what happens when you have weak or no follow-up to the people that know you to some degree? Well, they go elsewhere because you are not top of mind. And top of mind is something that you have to work out every day. It's not, well, we sent an email 3 months ago. They should know that we exist. Yeah, they should. But 3 months is a long time in this world. So now here you are not following up. And the guy who is following up is most likely to get the business. Number 4, an inadequate budget for growth. Look, we can talk about having a strategy. We can talk about follow-up and creating content and email, but all of these require to some degree, a budget. Yes, social media is free, but if you really want to leverage it, you're going to want to get some automation tools. You're going to want to pay some creative people to create some content for you. You might want a VA, a virtual assistant, to help you. These all cost money. And what I have found is that most businesses do not put money aside. I put about between 14 to 18% of what I earn back into marketing every month. That's me. And that's on top of all the content that I create. So not only am I creating the content and posting organic type content, but I'm also spending money on virtual assistants, designers, Google ads, this ad, on and on and on. Because that is the proper estimation of effort. And so without a budget, you really can't fuel your program. You can post for free, but if you really want to scale, you have to put a budget. And I find that within their plans, they don't have a budget. I recommend a minimum of 10%. That's the amount of money you need to grow. And then number 5, a lack of use of analytics and metrics. And I'm not even talking about anything sophisticated. I'm just, do you know where your clients come from? How many come from Yelp reviews? How many come from Google ads? How many are coming from referrals? If we don't understand what's driving growth, then we don't know where to put the strategy or the budget towards. And very often what people will do is they're generating a lot of business from, revenue source A, but they're putting all their money in revenue source B. This is a very, very common mistake. So one of the things I evaluate is, are you spending money and effort in a particular direction? And is that what's driving it? And commonly I'll find out, I don't know if that's what's driving it. I spend $1,500 a month on SEO. Okay, what SEO is being done for you? I don't know. They just do my SEO. Okay, well, is the SEO, have you noticed an uptick in organic, more people finding your website? I don't know. I just pay for SEO. So there's a disconnect from where the money is going to what's driving the results. And very often I find that they're putting money towards the second or third tier source of productivity versus doubling down on what is working. I'll give you a clear example. Ask any dentist or realtor or mortgage broker or chiropractor, what's your number one source of business? They'll say referrals. Great. So analytically, here's the metrics. Here's what's driving the growth is referrals. What amount of money and effort and strategy are you putting towards growing referrals? And the common answer is nothing. I'm putting nothing towards it. So here's your number one source. Analytics and metrics prove it to be true, yet you're putting no finance towards it. This is crazy. So you're putting your money all towards this, which we don't know if it's growing, but we do know that this other source is growing, but we put no strategy, finance, or effort or personnel towards the thing which is bringing us the most money. Now imagine for a moment, you take all 5 of these and you rectify them and you turn these into your superpower. You have a sales and marketing strategy. You have lists of past clients and leads and followers. You're strong with your follow-up. You've got really good creative content. It's beautiful, it's eye-popping, it's engaging, it's interesting, it's worthy of being consumed and shared. You put an adequate budget for growth, and you start to really fuel these initiatives. And as you're fueling them and deploying your strategy, you're using analytics to find out what's working so that you can put even more effort in that which is successful. You do all 5 of these, I guarantee you, you are going to have a business that is going to grow. Now, if you need help with this, I'm here to help as your virtual chief marketing officer, or find somebody else. There's plenty of coaches out there. There's plenty of books out there that you can read, podcasts, YouTube videos to learn more about these 5 things that I've spoken about. But if you feel that maybe we could work together, I'd love to work with you. But until then, take these 5 points to heart, make them your superpower, and you will see your business grow. This has been another edition of Growth Driven with Edwin Dearborn. You have a great day. Bye-bye.